Arariboyak had assumed all Europeans were the same, but the arrival of the French made him realize his error. They had come to wrest control of the coast from the Portuguese no matter the cost, or so their commander boasted. Nicolas Duran was the very caricature of the adventurous European. He spoke in melodies, and his gleaming rapier danced through the air with each dramatic gesture. Arariboyak had known many such men, all bark, no bite. Don't let his theatrics fool you, the Tsar warned him. Duran is a dangerous man. He has fought the Ottomans across Europe and Africa, and now he has come to establish a colony he calls France Antarctique. The names of these distant peoples and places meant little to Arariboyak, but the Tsar's concerned look spoke volumes. Duran and the French were an immediate threat. That makes my plan even more urgent, Arariboyak said. He presented his proposal with such speed and conviction that I found myself scrambling to keep up with the translation. The Maracajá and the Portuguese each faced an enemy intent on their destruction. Divided, they would both lose, but together, they could weather the storm. A long-term alliance, a partnership, if you will, between the Portuguese and the Maracajá. That is my proposal. The Governor-General eyed him with an expression that was impossible to read. Perhaps, in that moment, he saw Arariboyak's true character. This was not a man content to be a mere tool. He was a true leader, a general, a visionary, an equal. Then a partnership it will be, came his reply. Your tribe will help rid these Frenchmen from my doorstep, and in return, I will lend you my full support against Kunambebe. From this day forth, the Portuguese and the Maracajá's fates are intertwined. The alliance was sealed with a handshake. Yet, the waves of fate rarely allow for smooth sailing.
You call this untamed jungle a colony de ça? Bonté divine! Since you're clearly not using it, I will relieve you of your burden. From this day on, this land shall be known as France Antarctique!
Durand is as pompous as a peacock. No fool. We must drive him off the beach before he can dig in, or we may never be rid of him.
I would just land without a plan, de ça. While you were busy courting the Maracajá losers, I found myself a new friend in their conqueror. Look behind you!
When you stooped to ally, you gave me no choice but to do the same. Now let us see who picked the strongest bearded fool.
Nossa Senhora! We do not have the manpower to withstand this attack. Fall back and regroup! for abandoning you in such a rush, but I had no choice. Now, I'm on my way with a greater army. If you can recapture my fort, we can use it as a base for driving Durand into the sea.
Fine. Take the fort. A real warrior has no need for walls. Go and make your master happy, you weakling.
We are fighting on two fronts, men. To succeed, we need to slow our enemies down. Torch the French docks and all the supplies they hold.
Quiero que sawa. Embaemo yangara. Embaemo yangara.
What are we to do? Those hulking French sea monsters damage our fishing ships, and now we cannot feed our families.
Asa ko ikot turner. Embaemo yangara. Quiero que sawa. Embaemo gaturong sa. Embaemo gaturong sa. Ishea iko embaemo gaturong sa. Embaemo gaturong sa.
I cannot find the words to thank you, but I can show you my gratitude in fresh fish instead.
You think one surprise attack is enough to take me out, Durand? Think again. Into the fray, men!
Attack an enemy now.
that a victory? I was merely testing you, de Sa. And now I know what your weaknesses are. We will meet again. Soon.
France lost its greatest Colchester when you left, Durand! This is a great victory for us both at Ariboya. The clouds are scattering, and the future looks bright again.
France Antarctique, Mainsa laughed as he toasted Ariboya at their shared celebration. Only a flamboyant Frenchman would come up with such a name. Ariboya chuckled, even though he didn't fully understand de Sa's boasting. They had won a small but significant battle, and their alliance had passed its first major test. That was reason enough to celebrate. Ultimate victory was far from certain, though. The pact between Durand and Kunambebe had caught them off guard, and their combined strength remained a frightening prospect. Still, Ariboya and Mainsa had something their enemies lacked: trust. Durand would abandon his native allies in a heartbeat if it served his purposes. Meanwhile, Kunambebe despised all Europeans, even if he had stooped to using one to fight another. It was a weakness Ariboya intended to exploit. As we Portuguese like to say, one swallow does not make a summer. A toast to our continued success.